What's up guys, Yale Greenfield, aka the Live King, back with another episode of the Poker Vlog. Today I'm debuting a new segment called The King Declares. And The King declares that this prop bet that's currently circulating on Twitter and in the poker news world about Landon Tice being paid $100,000 to live in Bally's for a year is a total joke. Why would we pay anybody $100,000 to literally walk across the street, live in a plush hotel, access to a gym, gets to play WSOP live events, the whole thing? It's just too much for me. I can't believe that Poker News is publishing articles about this. When will the madness end? I'm sure Landon Tice is an excellent poker player. I don't know him personally. I also hear he's a really good guy. You can see the people he's associated with, but this prop bet is out of line. It's a joke. Now I want to get into a food review. The place is called Gol Tong. It is a Korean fried chicken restaurant. They're doing Korean fried chicken unlike I've ever seen before. This shop is run by one man. It does not have waiters or waitresses. The owner is an ex-Korean film director. He got out of the film directing business and got into the Korean fried chicken making business. And this Korean fried chicken is completely unique. There's 3 flavors: original, soy, and chili. And the thing about this guy's chicken is he dresses it with local produce that he picks up every single day from a local Korean market. So it's got fruit and avocado and jalapeno, and it's literally the most glorious fried chicken I've ever had in my life. The flavors just blend together so well. In addition to that, the owner's a complete joy. He's very entertaining, he's got a huge personality, he's got multiple big screen TVs with BTS playing and sports, and I just really have a lot of respect for this guy. He said if you add any employees, quote unquote, quality drops too much. Now we gotta go shoot off a little 510, 510-20 here at the bike. I'll see you guys at the end of the session for a little recap. I bought on for $1,500 today because this game is relatively short stacked. I'm up a couple $100 going into this hand, where I pick up ace queen of clubs in the small blind. We've got a middle position limp, and now the low jack and older guy raises to $45. I've seen this guy limp hands as strong as ace king, so normally I'd play a raise, but this time I just call because of the opener. Big blind's gonna call, and so is middle position, so we're gonna get a flop 4 ways. Flop's jack high with 2 clubs, so we've got the nut 4 flush and 2 overs. I check. Now the big blind takes this hand off the rails by leading $50 into the field, and the low jack calls. Now I think the low jack is pretty capped when he calls, and I think the big blind is weak with this $50 bet. Normally I would just call here, but in this instance I switch it up and I raise to $250. I think the low jack's gonna be forced to fold a lot of his equity here, like a couple of big overs. I don't really know what the big blind's doing. He's a bit of a wild card. I know his friend has called me very tight in front of him before at the table. He calls. Low jack's gonna fold. So we're gonna hit this turn heads up. Now we've turned a gut shot when the 8 of diamonds drops. So we've got more equity, and I keep barreling 400 into 680. I think it's nice to block queen 10 here specifically. He puts in the call. River's a 4 of hearts, so we haven't improved, and this pot is now $1,480. My feeling here is that my opponent is capped though. I don't think he's got hands like 10-7 or queen 10 that make a straight. I think he's got a good jack a lot of the time. Sometimes he could have an inferior flush draw. It's hard to say with this guy. He's kind of all over the board.
1,000.
So I fire 1,000. Now I don't normally like to bluff these types of combos, but my read is basically live tell driven, live sample driven. I just think this guy is capped. I'm gonna be on big tilt if he calls me and I pick this combo to bluff with. And I breathe a sigh of relief when he folds.
I get lucky this time. Bluff.
You miss?
I miss. I have everything. Straight draw, flush draw.
I want him to remember this bluff so I get paid off later. Now we've got pocket 8s and low jack. The hijack's called and so has the big blind. Flop is 7-5-5, 2 clubs. Big blind checks.
50.
We still got an overpair here, so I bet 50. Hijack folds. Now we got the action back on the big blind.
150.
He makes it 150. Snowman on a 7-5-5 board is like Johnny Manziel's college football career. You know it's the best he will ever be at life. But I do decide to continue with a call. Turns a king of clubs, so the front door flush is in now. He checks it over, and I pondered here between a small bet for protection and a check, and I just think a small bet is a little out of line following the check raise from the big blind here. So I check it back. River's a queen of hearts. Now he fires $300. So we've got an okay calling combo. We have an 8 of clubs. We do block 9-8 and 8-6 potential straight draws on the flop. He, of course, can still have 5x. So I go ahead and fold.
What you got?
And look at this. He flips up the 8-6 of diamonds. Bluff is life. In this one, the hijack's open to $75, and we have 2 kings in the big blind. Button calls the 75. We have an easy raise on our hands here.
375.
So we shoot it up $375. Hijack calls. Button really taking his time here, trying to figure out what he wants to do. He calls. I'd call him an idiosyncratic player. We get the ace-7-6 with 2 spades. We check. So does the hijack, and the button quickly moves it in for 1,200 total. I fold really quickly. The king of spades in hand is what triggers this fast fold for me. Eliminates some of his draws. Hijack folds to a quick 375 down the drain. 5-10-20 no limit in this one. We got pocket jacks in the small blind. God, I love this hand. You can see in the top left of your screen, our man makes it 60 to go.
275.
Easy 3-bet for us. We make it 275. Action's gonna fold back to the cutoff here. This guy's got 2 modes. He's got a lockdown tight mode, and I'm on major tilt crazy bonkers mode. Today, he's in the crazy tilt bonkers mode. He's gonna call. Now I'm keeping that in mind as we head to a king 9-3 rainbow flop. I quickly check it over.
All in.
How much?
All in.
And he's all in.
700.
675.
675.
He tells us it's 675. Little over pot. We make the quick call. 10 of diamonds on the turn.
I can beat a 9.
And a 10 of hearts on the river. He shows a single 9 and then shows an ace. So he's got ace 9 of spades. And this time we stack the man on tilt. We got 9-7 of hearts on the button. And raise it to 60. Straddle's gonna call. Heads up to queen 9-6 with 2 spades. He checks it to us, and I quickly check back our middle pair. Turns to 7 of diamonds, so we got 2 pair now.
80.
Straddle fires $80, and I think here I don't really want to play any raises in sequence. Yeah, we've got a relatively strong hand, and it's well disguised, but he's got 10-8 and 8-5 in range. We want him to keep bluffing too sometimes. River's a 9 of spades. That's a really good river. Just in case he had the front door flush draw. And he bets $300. That's an overbet. This is a really big size. I don't know what story he's trying to sell. Maybe he's trying to say he got there with the flush. Maybe he's bluffing. I don't really know. Our hand is extremely well disguised. So I'm definitely gonna raise. I just gotta decide what size. Raising against an overbet, or in this case, basically a pot size bet, is always kind of weird.
850.
I go with $850. And now the straddle's tanking. So what could really call us here? Ace high flushes, king high flushes. I don't know if a straight would ever call. I'm not familiar with this player. So really, we're just kind of praying that he flicks in another 550 with whatever could possibly be the top of his range in this spot. He's tanking so long, I kind of have the Jeopardy song in my head, hoping he does something at some point. Maybe somebody will call the clock on him. I don't know. And he gives it up eventually. We got Live King's favorite hand. We got a $40 open in middle position, and we got a low jack call. Small blind's in there too. Now it's time to put the punish on. So we make it look like 275. We get a couple of folds. Now it's back to the small blind. He's going to put in the call. He's been pretty splashy, and I think this call represents hands like middling pairs, some broadways, suited. I don't know, this range seems relatively capped. Flops ace-10 deuce, 2 spades. He checks it over.
200.
We go for a small bet. He doesn't have a lot behind. And he's instantly all in for $915, and we snap it off. 10 of diamonds on the turn. 9 of heart river. He shows jack 8 of spades, so he flopped a dry jack high flush draw. Quickly shot it in. Pretty loose call pre-flop from him out of the small blind, but we'll take it. This is how we print money in this game. I was up about $1,800, but there are a series of hands that we aren't going to show. One hand where I 3-bet and got cold 4-bet and had to fold my ace queen. Another hand where I 3-bet and check folded a flop. So now I'm up a little over $1,000 for the session. We have a couple players up from the table. So I'm the hijack position and have ace 5 of spades. I raised to 60. Folds to the button, who makes it 250 to go. Now the button and I have a bit of history. You can check out my vlog episode, Non-Stop Pocket Aces and Kings. We played a pot, the button and I, where she 5-bet me when I had pocket kings, and I 6-bet her for a little bit more. So there's a little bit of history between us. I won the last battle. I think this ace 5 of spades may be a little too loose for a 4-bet. It's kind of close.
775.
But this time I go for it, 775. Now she's proven in the past she's certainly not scared money, and the size she goes with for her 3-bet is standard sizing for her. It's not really indicative of anything.
You have like 27 behind, right? I mean, 17 behind.
No, more.
Pink is 5?
Yeah, pink's 5.
Oh, I see, I see.
She's a little confused about the chip colors.
21, 2200, yes.
You have eight blacks, right?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to count exactly for you, but yeah, I'm showing you all the chips. Am I doing something wrong?
Sorry, no. 2 more hands, I promise. Sorry.
No, I just have that.
Oh, 2 more hands?
So a lot of chatter. She seems a little confused. Maybe she's just trying to figure out her plan. Hard to say really, but it doesn't matter. We've put on max heat here. We want the fold. She's taking forever here, but justifiably so. She eventually does put in the call. The bluff has failed. Now we need a bailout from the deck. We've got a little over pot behind. Incredible. 9-8-7-2 spades, a gut shot, the nut flush draw, and an overcard for our ace 5. Hard to ask for more.
All in.
Rip City time. 1890. And she calls pretty quickly, so bad sign for us. You can only run it once with the bike, so here we go. Deuce of clubs. Queen of diamonds, so we show our ace high. This can never be good, and she's got pocket kings.
Nice hand.
Well played by her, and our second huge collision with the button. One time at Hollywood Park, now at the bike. She gets the better of us this time, and we're stacked. All right, we're stuck now, so just gotta stay in there, keep our head on straight, do the best we can. Last hand of the session that I'm gonna show. Got pocket 8s in the straddle. Last time 8s didn't work for us. Hopefully they will this time. Small blind completes. Big blind completes. This game's been pretty wild. So I go for a large size here, $150 with 2 8s. Small blind folds, big blind snaps. Big blind's big action player. Really good flop for us. Ace, king, 8, 2 spades. So bottom set, he checks. Hard for him to have anything really good here. I go for a bet of 100. He snaps. I mean, look at the pace of those chips going in. Just wild. Turns a deuce of clubs. Can't beat this turn. So when he checks, I'm going to keep trying to put the punish on. This dude doesn't seem interested in folding.
450.
450.
I fire a pretty big bet here. And look at this. Same thing. The pacing. He just beats us into the pot. Our set's got to be good. There's just really nothing he can have here, obviously, that beats us. So we need to fade, and we get a queen of hearts. He checks it over. We got a little bit over pot left.
All in.
I go all in. This guy's such action that I just don't want to use an in-between size. And he does fold relatively quickly. So he probably just had a spade draw, but a decent pot to end this session, which started off great, but the stacking is gonna cost us. Okay guys, it's outro time. Things were really going well for me. I might have taken the battle with the woman who I played the 4-bet pot with the ace-5 a little bit too far. We have a little bit of history, but I might have taken a little too far in the spot, and then of course I just get the absolute nut flop and in it goes. But general game conditions were quite good. Yeah, otherwise, make sure to look out for me. I've been doing live at the bike recently. I've been commentating and I post on my Twitter. Check out my Twitter, LiveKingPoker. I'm gonna be letting you guys know when I'm doing some commentary on there. So if you wanna come into the live stream and chat with me, that would be really awesome. It's a good time for me to interact with vlog watchers. I think we'll just get to the results. I'm actually really tired. I'm doing a podcast also tomorrow morning. I was in for 3,500 and out for 2,725 for a loss of 775. So not the day that I had hoped to have. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. There's been some really great comments on the last vlog and people were really kind. Thanks for staying with me. We're gonna have more Kings Declare up the road. Live King out.